Welcome to my world. Handicapped man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, "Hey, you want some shoes?" I said, "Yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well." And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. Well, I'm not but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Race friends, they're back together again. Live from Daytona Beach, Florida, it's Scratch with a K. And live from Las Vegas, it's Alan Michaels. Right here, right now, on the flagship station, the WCOBM TV network. It's on Pit Road Racing.
There's one. There's two. There you go, man. From Las Vegas to Daytona Beach, Florida. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Happy Hump Day and On Pit Road Racing. Alan Michaels, Control Center at the WCOB. My partner sitting down there in beautiful Daytona Beach, Florida, man, where I know it's been sunny, and the beach is calling my name, and I need toes in the sand.
You know, that's funny. I heard it today. I was outside, and the beach was going, Alan Michaels. I was like, that's ridiculous. That's how'd that happen? But it was. I heard it. It was calling your name.
Did it also say, I've got a nice cold Heineken waiting down there for you when you get here too, man?
You know, it said something like that. Yeah, it said something like that. Some moonshine, something, you know, something. It just said, bring your ass.
How you doing today, buddy? All right.
Good. How are you today?
All right. Your box is on the way. I sent your tracking number to you, man.
Hey,
you got
I can't wait.
Shirts and all kinds of cool stuff on your way to you, buddy.
I can't wait. Monday, I'm going to have some shoes. Oh.
Got them right there. Yeah, you got one. You have a pair just like them.
I'm going to do the whole show upside down, and all you're going to see is my shoes dangling in the air right here. That's how we're going to do it.
Remember before we get to race. Remember you remember Frazier, the original series? Remember when Bulldog decided he lost a bet, he was going to do his show upside down, and he did until he started drinking coffee, and that was the pain in the butt right there, man. You can't drink coffee upside down. I mean,
no, that's tricky. You know what? Not that anybody's going to be real impressed with this, but because this is on Pit Road Racing, and this is where I did it the most. So in the infield, back when I was younger, obviously, and I mean, not real young, I did it older, and but anyway, I would funnel beers upside down. I would do a handstand and funnel beers upside down. My buddy would hold my feet, and I would funnel beers upside down in the infield at Daytona during the races. But yeah, I've since retired from that right there. I can barely stand on my hands now for too long. Probably because my belly got a little bigger, I think.
Hey, listen, you get to my age and what I'm going through, man, it's just to get up every day and walk. I mean, that's a great thing. Hey, let's get it started here. Scratch Daytona Alan here in Las Vegas. Welcome to On Pit Road Racing. We do it from the WCOBM studios, everybody. Located downtown Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street. Just on the other side of us is the Gene Woods Racing Experience, 12,000 square foot of indoor race and drift and go-kart track fun. And on the other side of that is the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, man, and we'll get into all that. Our shows air on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 4 to 5 p.m. for you. We take it straight from the network, the WCOBM.television network, and we stream it out I was counting today, Scratch, where you got it going to 9 different formats across the board, from Facebooks to LinkedIn's to Twitter to X, YouTube TV. My goodness gracious, I don't know where, but we keep them growing. Show partners real quick. Gene Woods Racing Experience, 450 Fremont Street, GoKartsLasVegas.com. Woods Family Sandwiches. Stop out there and see Dayland and the crew. Get yourself a big roast beef, a chicken salad, whatever. They've got it all. You want some more information? WFSandwiches.com. The Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, that's where the shoes are. Scratch will get his on Monday, and we'll be shoeing them out, baby. And if you'd like to find out how to donate, get in on this project, just log on to hotshoehof.com. Our good friends at Las Vegas Motor Speedway, that's our home track here in Vegas, coming back into action in October. LVMS.com for all your tickets and information there. Atlanta Motorsports Park down in Dawsonville, Georgia. Atlanta Motorsports Park. .com. There you go. It was the condominium of motorsports, Red One Scooters, and Hammer and Harry's, man. That's what we got. If you'd like to be on the show, guest with us, Diane's booking them up. She's starting it out. In fact, got a couple of great guests coming on. And to do that, 803-0875. That's 702-803-0875. Give Diane a shout Monday through Friday from 9 to 5 on the Pacific time, or you can reach out to her at onpitroadracing@gmail. Okay. Man, I was going to get the weathers pulled up, man, but the weather, weather bug thing, man, is all giggly today. So we'll just say
the weather. Listen. It's a racing weekend. The weather's fantastic. Just
there you go. That's all we need.
Take my word for it. The weather is going to be fantastic everywhere there is a race car this weekend.
All right. You heard it from Scratch himself. So we'll leave the weather forecast out. Let Diane deal with it on Friday. All right.
It's as good as the real weather, Alan Michaels.
There you go. As long as we got sand, toes in our sand, and a Heineken in the hand, we're in good shape. You know what I mean? Hey, let's go around the track. I'll get you started off with Supercross, April 20th, Nassau Stadium, Nashville, Tennessee. They're back in action at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia on April 27th. The Empower Field at Mile High Stadium in Denver, Colorado hosts the show on May 4th. And you get the season finale coming up in Salt Lake City, May 11th. Scratch, you got the latest from flat track racing, my friend.
Yeah, man, flat track racing action will be at Mission, Texas, a half mile at Texas Motor Speedway, Fort Worth, Texas, April 27th. On May 4th, the Silver Dollar Speedway in Chico, California. May 11th, Ventura Raceway in Ventura, California. And Costa Mesa, April 13th, was rained out. So up next, Harley Night at May 11th, 2024 at Paris Speedway. April 20th is the opener. Kevin Harvick's Kern Raceway in Bakersfield, California. June 22nd, AMA Speedway National Championship Series Round 1, Saturday, June 1st. Season opener 2024, Industry Hill Speedway Racing.
There you go, man. And F1's back in action this weekend for you. Shanghai, China, man. For the Shanghai International Circuit, April 21st, ESPN's got the coverage for you. And F1 returns back here to Las Vegas, November 21st through the 23rd. It's the Formula One Heineken Silver Grand Prix, and tickets are available right now at f1.com/tickets out there. NHRA news, Scratch, where are they heading to next, buddy?
Hey, man, they're moving to another round of 4-wide racing. It's the second of 2 events in 2024 NHRA action, April 26th and 28th at the ZMAX Dragway in Charlotte, North Carolina. Another one of my favorite places.
That's right. Them open wheels are heading out your way to you. Love it, Long Beach, California this weekend. It all gets started April 19th through the 21st. It's the NTT IndyCar Acura Grand Prix at Long Beach. And boy, they're running back at the dirt, Scratch.
Yeah, that's a mouthful right there. Nos Angeles Series. They'll be April 18th at Thunderhill Raceway, April 19th, Paducah International Raceway, and 420 at the Tri-State Speedway.
You got it, man. And here's a big thing, man, because everybody's rocking and rolling Thursday night. Yeah, that's a little what today's Friday night at Daytona Short Track on the dirt right next to the big super speedway. You got the Case Construction Series. You want more information about it, log on to WOA.com. That's World of Outlaws for all their broadcast schedules and everything else. Scratch, take us ARCA Series back in Talladega this weekend too, my friend.
Yeah, man, the General Tire 200. They'll be at Talladega this weekend. You want to get your information about that, go to arcaracing.com.
You got it that, and the trucks are off this week. A Heart of America 200, the Kansas Speedway, set to roll Saturday, May 4th, 8 p.m. is your start. Green flag is at 8:13. Television will be on Fox Sports 1. Radio call will be on MRN and Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. Stage laps go from 30 to 60 to 134, and practice and qualifying starts Saturday, May 4th at 12:05. Xfinity news for me, Scratch?
Yeah, man, I'm going to miss not having any Craftsman trucks at Talladega this weekend along with the action. But we got Xfinity action, the AG Pro 300 Talladega Superspeedway, Saturday, April 20th, 2024, 4 p.m. Eastern. Qualifying is Friday, April 19th from 5:30 to 7 p.m. Eastern. TV will be on Fox, radio on MRN, Sirius XM, NASCAR.
Yeah, you got it, man. And then, of course, the big one coming up this weekend, the Galco 500 coming for you, Talladega Super Speedway, Sunday, April 21st. So you got a 3 o'clock with the television time, 3:13. Going to be rolling with the television out there. And, of course, Fox will have it, and you're going to have MRN and Sirius XM Radio is going to be doing it for you there. So they're going to be racing all the way around, man. Talladega is going to be busy, man, because you got that dirt track going on. You got the ARCAs, you got the Xfinity and the Cups, and they're going to be rocking in Daytona, baby.
Yes, sir. Daytona. I don't know. It's the same to me. I don't. No, actually, to be honest with you, I hear, a lot of people brag about how much better the infield is at Talladega than it is at Daytona. And, I've never been to Talladega, so I don't want to say any different. I don't know. But we've
been there twice.
We do it up pretty good at the Tiki Bar.
You do definitely do that. I've been there twice. The first time I went down there, I tried to start at the very middle of the turn where it says Talladega between, right? And I tried to walk the wall, and it was impossible, man. 33-degree banking. It was totally impossible. So I cheated and walked down and then walked up and then walked over to get my picture taken with the Talladega. So
did I ever tell you the story about how I was sitting after a race one time and was watching turn 3 from where I was sitting at? I was watching turn 3, and a guy jumped the fence and ran up the banking. I mean, like really quick to run up. He wanted to touch the wall. The guy was drunk, obviously. And he ran as fast as he could up to touch the wall. And he touched the wall. And he took about 2 steps the other way to run down and just flew and launched and landed and way down. He was in the air he left the air and he just crashed. And he had a hard time getting back over the fence, and he was all skin up and stuff. But yeah, I don't suggest people do anything like that. But this dude, this guy paid the price for his fun that night. But it was one of the funniest things I've ever seen.
There's a guy a couple of years ago. Did you see this? I think it was at Dover, man. He climbs up on top of the fence, up on top of the catch fence coming out of turn 4 or whatever. And he's up there, and they're trying to get him down. He won't come down. I'm staying up here. I bought a ticket. I'm staying up here. And they finally, and now he's barred from every track there is because that's just stupid that you're going to try to climb a catch fence when you got 35, 40 race cars going 150 mile an hour around you, man. Come on. Get some brain.
Speaking of stupidness at tracks, if I'm not mistaken, was Talladega not the place where the guy stole the pace car?
Yeah, man.
It was, right? All right, there you go.
They stole the pay. Yeah, that's it. Hey, let's take
we brought that story all the way back around to Talladega. That's fantastic.
That's it. The big one's coming, man. You never know. Hey, we're going to take our first break here. We do Scratch. We're going to come back. We've got motorcycle news. We've got NHRA updates for you, and also updates from the world of outlaws. You're watching On Pit Road Racing, WCOBM, Scratch in Daytona, Alan here in Vegas. We're back in 2 minutes, everybody.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Hump Day, 15 minutes after the hour here on this Wednesday afternoon. Scratch Daytona Beach, Alan here in Las Vegas at Control Center, man, and we're doing On Pit Road Racing Wednesday edition. Of course, this weekend, big Talladega racing. We'll get into all that in just a couple of minutes. But hey, let's catch up on some motorcycle racing news. This segment brought to you by our good friends at the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame. They're celebrating and preserving the memories of great motorcycle racers and the motorcycle industry's icons past and present. If you'd like more information about how you can be involved, log on to the World Wide Web at hotshoehof.com. Scratch, you got the results from Foxborough, the house that Brady built from last week, my friend.
Yeah, the Monster Energy AMA Supercross was at Gillette Stadium, as you mentioned, Foxborough, Massachusetts, for round 13 of 17. The 450 SX class winner was Cooper Webb. Second was Chase Sexton. Third was Ken Rosen. 4 was Jason Anderson. 5 was Jet Lawrence. The Monster Energy AMA Supercross at Gillette Stadium, Foxborough, Mass. Round 13 of 17 for the 250 SX class. Hayden Deegan, winner of that class right there. Second was Cameron Mikado. Third, Tom Vial, that looks right anyway. Sounds good enough for me. 4, Pierce Brown. And 5, Max Anstey. Hayden Deegan, Haley Deegan's brother.
Yeah, that's the Deegan brothers, boy. They're that off-road racing and everything else and motocrossing, and they've been out here. They run the Mint 400 out here. Got a really good team that does that. You are really sort of captured on this. I'll just re-go over to Speedway Motorcycle Action West Coast events for you. Obviously, we got wrapped up due to weather. The Jack Milne Cup at Costa Mesa Speedway was canceled. No make-up date for that. But they're going to be rolling. They're going to tell you something, Scratch. Harleys are Harleys, man. But these are now we're not talking about the Harley Davidsons that you see at the Progressive Flat Track Series. These guys bring out wild, crazy street Harleys, and they race them at Costa Mesa Speedway on a dirt track. Man.
That's great. That's
It's
awesome.
insane.
I'd like to see that. That's something I'd like to see.
It's insane, man. I mean, insane. And then they got the trike bikes, the two-man trike bikes, man, to where you got the monkey man or the suicide guy on the side. And what they do is they run the track backwards. They don't run it the right way. They run it backwards with it. And it is wild to watch with that methyl alcohol in these things, man. They zoom around it. But that's what's that. You got the latest from the Progression. They're coming up April 27th. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, the Progressive American Flat Track Series. They're going to be at Mission, Texas Half Mile up next. Texas Motor Speedway, Fort Worth, Texas, Saturday, April 27th at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Taking a look at some NHRA news. This segment brought to you by our good friends at Hammer and Harry's Resort, 450 Fremont Street. They're open daily from 11:30 till 10. Log on to the World Wide Web at hammeredharrys.com/Fremont Street for good food, fun times, and always a shot of Scratch. And man, Scratch, you got it. Bob Tasca, man. Tell us all about Bob Tasca and the NHRA Mission Foods, man.
You know what? I do not see the NHRA notes.
Oh, all right. Yeah, all right. I'm sorry.
Those I don't see. I apologize.
All right. Well, I'll just run it real quickly for you. Bob Tasca, man, he went a triple hole shot, man, at the strip, picking up his victory up in the funny car division. Doug Coletta outlasted Tony Stewart. My God, the smoke was on a roll, buddy. And Jed Coppin from Pro Stock, he scores the win out there for you. But I'm going to tell you, Coletta, defending world champion, #1 qualifier. He beat Justin Ashley, Steve Torrance, and Tony Stewart. Now, you ready for this, Scratch? 3.715 seconds down the strip at a blazing 333.58 miles an hour, man. I mean, that's
333 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, that's smoking, bro.
No kidding.
I don't even know if you can blink your eyes. I mean, that is so quick.
That's incredible.
Jed Coughlin picked up his 4th win of the year, 66th career win over, man. Now, this is a Pro Stock car, man. He went 207.818 miles in the final round. Current point leaders, Justin Ashley is your new point leader in Top Fuel. Austin Prock holds on to Funny Car. Erica Enders takes back her #1 spot in Pro Stock. And motorcycles are off until, man. Brought to you by our good friends at Hammer and Harry's, man. There we go. That's it. It was a good time. I'm going to tell you something, Scratch. And everybody out there, we did an interview with Tony Stewart. He seems to be in a real peaceful place right now. He seems to be very happy. He dealt with the fans fantastic. I mean, I watched him fill his car up. I watched him pack his chutes. and he took time. He seemed happy. He seemed like the interview, he said, I'm having the best time of my life. I'm racing with my wife. They're looking to have a child together. The question was asked, next year, will his wife take the car back? And he says, she wants her car back. She can have it back. I'll go back to alcohol dragsters. I had a ball doing it. Best time in my racing career. Thoughts about Tony Stewart and the NHRA, my friend?
Yeah, I'm loving it, man. I'll be honest, I'm loving it. I got to catch one of the qualifying runs that he had, and he had won that particular qualifying run. And I just thought it was great. I just think it's cool. I mean, IndyCar, NASCAR, NHRA, among many, many, many other is just that's an impressive resume. And for him to finish second in Top Fuel is, I mean, come on, man. Come on. It's great. It's great. That's a racer right there. And that's,
and you know what?
That's what this show is about, racers. And that guy right there is a racer.
He is a true racer. And here's something else. Remember, I got a little info about that he'd been on a speedway bike. Well, I asked him the question in the interview. Now, he didn't do it out at Ken Maley's in California, but Tony Stewart confirmed early in his racing career, he was at Bill Simpson's place of Simpson Helmets, western side of Indianapolis, and they pulled a speedway bike out, and he rode it for the day until he wrecked it and busted up his ACL is what he said. You have to look at the interview. I think it was his ACL is what he smashed up. But then he looked over at me. He goes, you know what? I got to go back through my resume. I forgot. We got to add that to my resume. I actually have rode in a speedway motorcycle. So, I mean, when you look at it, like you just said, IndyCar, NASCAR, sprint cars, drag racing, motorcycle racing. You talk about a racer, the Smoke is a racer, buddy. He's a racer.
No, absolutely. I you can't hate his hustle when it comes to getting in something that goes fast and still good at it. Quite the opposite of when I watched 7-time. I know we're probably talking about it later, but 7-time spun out in the next gen car all by himself this past weekend. Back there in the back. That's a 7-time champion that's spinning himself out by himself.
Is he in the race this weekend? I didn't even look. Is he in this weekend? Is he running?
He would have been better off to be in this race this weekend probably than he would have this past weekend at Texas, in my opinion. I when I was watching the race and I saw him spin out by himself. Now, don't get me wrong. I mean, everybody's like, oh, when you're not used to the next gen car, you're not used to the next gen car. Yeah, okay, I get all that, but that's a 7-time champion. It's a 7-time NASCAR champion. That's all
he's not used to the car.
That's what they said. I have a lot of time in it. No, that's what look, when you got your boys that raced with you in the booth, what do you think they're going to say? You think they're going to they're not going to tear you down, man. They're going to be like, oh, you're not used to the next gen car. When we sit here and we watch it and go, man, what is the matter? You were a 7-time champion. You should be able to get in that car and not spin out by yourself. You should be able to take that car and finish in the top 20.
At least the top 20.
At least.
And if he doesn't, listen, he owns the team. If it's all about getting parts and right stuff, well, you're writing the checks. You and Morty Gallagher, and I don't know if Richard Petty still got his name on the checkbook or not, but here and there, you're writing the checks. You need to.
And if you're testing things out, if you're testing things out for the other 2 cars, don't use anything you've put in that car so far. Nothing. Whatever you've done with that 84 car that you're testing, don't use any of that. Don't use any of it.
Yeah, junk. Yeah, don't even send it to like the pull aparts or any of those guys. Junk. No. I guess I should. The pull apart guys are nice guys. I don't want any trouble. I don't want any trouble from them.
Yeah, I love those guys.
Did I get you racing news from the dirt? I want to make sure that we're in. You got
you
that
did,
big
you
melon?
did. You did. Racing news from the dirt. This segment's brought to you by Gene Woods Racing Experience, 450 Fremont Street, Las Vegas. It's the only true indoor drift track. More info at 702-270-8100 or go to www.gokartslasvegas.com.
You got it, man. Case Construction, night number 1, World of Outlaws, the Illini 100, Farm City Raceway, Farm City, Illinois. And, man, it was Nick Hoffman outlasting Bobby Price and Kate Dillard, man. Great race. I watched this online. I picked it up and went over to the World of Outlaws thing and caught the last 10 laps of this event. And this was a push and shove all night long, man. What great racing it was. You got the results from round number 2 out there, Scratch?
Yeah, Farmer City Raceway, Farmer City, Illinois, World of Outlaws, Illini 100, Saturday, April 13th. This was night number 2. Winner Bobby Pierce, second Nick Hoffman, and third Tyler Erb.
Yeah, and now you can see where the battle went from Friday night to Saturday night there, Scratch, with them flipping about with Hoffman winning it up for you, with Hoffman winning it up on the Friday night thing, and then you had Bobby coming back and winning it on Saturday night. We've had Bobby on the show and watched this guy progress, man. And this guy can sling a dirt car. He really, really can. Great. Construction points after it. Brendan Shepard still up on top. Chris Madden's back 24. Nick Hoffman back 34. Kate Diller's back 36. Tyler Brunning 82 points back out of it. And Scratch, you got the results from I-55 there, my friend.
Yeah, NOS Energy Drink Series, World of Outlaws Spring Classic, Federated Auto Parts Raceway at I-55, Friday, April 12th. Winner, Donnie Schatz. Second was Carson Macedo. Third was Michael Cafoid. The point standings as of now is the new points leader. We've got a new points leader. That's pretty interesting. David Gravel, he is in first now. Donnie Schatz is in second. Giovanni Scalzi is in third. Logan Schutzart is in fourth. And Carson Macedo is rounding out your top 5 in the points.
You got it, man. Racing news from the dirt brought to you this segment by the Gene Woods Racing Experience. 450 Fremont Street, Las Vegas is true. Only indoor drift track. More information at 702-270-8100 or on the World Wide Web at Vegas at gokartslasvegas.com. We'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll update you what's going on with F1. And Scratch has got a report on how Kyle Larson looked in his full pre-testing for the Indianapolis 500. He's got all the notes and news. You're watching On Pit Road Racing. Scratches in Daytona, Alan here in Las Vegas. When we come back, we've got more on the WCOBM Wednesday On Pit Road Racing, everybody.
Come on! What the That is awesome.
Kia, movement that inspires.
Jerry B here up in Sacramento, Union Gospel Mission, giving out some shoes to the homeless. Here, a lot of smiling faces. We got one deal. We give you a pair of shoes. You gotta give us a smirk and a photo. And this is the mission of the Hot Shoe Hall of Fame, which is a non-profit organization based out of Las Vegas, started by Gene Woods. We're trying to do good things and fill little holes in people's lives the best we can. And today we're up in Sacramento, just doing the best we can. Thanks for supporting us.
Our buddy Jerry B right there, man, and he's up in Sacramento, up there at the Sacramento Mile. I'm going to tell you, Scratch, some of these people, they're not thinking about Sacramento, canceled all their racing. No more Sacramento Mile, man. Done. No more motorcycle racing at Sacramento. No more car racing up there. I don't get it, man. I mean, you know, they say, well, this or that, but I'll tell you how they're going to find this out. And you know this good, Scratch. You've been in business a long time. When the accountants look at the books for next year and they see that big goose egg in there.
Here, boom.
Because you've been doing this, man. You've been down there. You've been around. Buddy, race fans will spend money. They will spend money.
They do. We, you know, like here in Daytona, you know, when we have bike week and race week, those are the people that spend the money here in Daytona. So, yeah, that's probably going to hurt the economy there. And plus, you know, it's sad anytime you lose a racetrack.
It's sad when you lose a racetrack, but it was such a great event up there. I mean, there's not a lot of mile tracks left. You had Sacramento's got a mile. You got Springfield's got a mile. Raleigh's still got a mile track over there. But, you know, the economic value, I just don't get it. Why would you want to get rid of something that makes you money? I just don't get it. Here nor there. I don't.
Yeah, me neither.
It upsets me. Little F1 racing news for you, man. Not too much really going on because teams are flipping around. Silly season is starting. I was trying to keep up with it, Scratch, and to be honest with you, 1 minute. The only thing we know for sure that Lewis Hamilton is going to Ferrari next year. Now they're talking about this, and could be Red Bull, could be swapping out. Everybody wants to start bidding for Max V because his contract's coming up. But anyhow, the segment brought to you by our good friends and partners at the Atlanta Motorsports Park. For more information, give them a call at 678-381-8527. Log on to the World Wide Web, AtlantaMotorsports.com. They are the country club of motorsports. You got the latest in the standings, my friend.
Yeah, man, your F1 standings heading into this weekend, the 2024 driver standings. It's first is Max Verstappen, Max V. He's got 77 points. He's in the lead. Second is Sergio Perez with 64 points. Charles Leclerc, 59 points. He is in third place. And Carlos Sainz is 55 points in fourth.
Segment brought to you by our good friends at Atlanta Motorsports Park. More information at 678-381-8527. Log on to the World Wide Web, AtlantaMotorsports.com. They are the country club. Well, Scratch, you know, he's going to go for the double-double, man. Tony Stewart did it, had a great finish. Kurt Busch tried it. He was rolling well and finished good in Indianapolis, but got down to Charlotte and blew a motor, and so that knocked him out. But you've got the latest from Kyle Larson, who took his next step in getting ready for the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500 presented by Cambridge. Tell us all about it, Scratch.
That is true. You said it, or you nailed it right on the head. Kyle Larson took the next step of his NTT IndyCar Series progression during an open test session in preparation for the 108th running of the Indianapolis 500 presented by Cambridge. The driver extraordinaire who completed his Indy 500 rookie orientation program on October 12th, was allowed to immediately jump into his number 17 HendricksCars.com Aero McLaren Chevrolet at the drop of the green flag to join the initial 2-hour session. Larson completed 47 laps on the day with a top speed of 226.384 miles an hour. That was second fastest among 34 drivers to turn laps during the test. By comparison, 2021 NASCAR Cup Series champion Larson turned 72 laps with a top speed of 217.898 miles per hour during his ROP last October. Larson last tested this car in February at Phoenix Raceway. The challenge of the Phoenix test was measuring himself against no one. He said, I felt like when the car was gripped up, I was close to optimizing it, but it's so hard to say when it's just me out there. So that was what he said right after the test. And then he went on to say, I wish there could have been like one other guy out there, or that he could have judged himself off of looking at data to compare to. Wednesday's open test session allowed Larson to join the other cars on the track. And I think I've definitely learned stuff, Larson said. The plan was for Larson to get comfortable with himself early, then jump in a pack to get the feel of turbulent air and following another car around the 2.5 Indianapolis Motor Speedway, with Wednesday being the first time Larson experienced in the IndyCar Series machinery in the wake of another car. He didn't know if what he was feeling was right. So when the packs are that small, like you don't know what you're learning is a reality or not, he said. That's why this day was beneficial to him. He said being in front of cars and then behind was a much-needed experience for his progression of making a run at victory for May 26th during the first step of the Hendrick 1100. That's what they want to call it, which is also will include Larson racing NASCAR's Coca-Cola 600, that event at Charlotte Motor Speedway. That's what's going on there with the double. The news about Larson, man, I can't believe we're talking Kyle Larson could actually win the Indy 500. And then what? He goes to victory lane for like 2 seconds and dips and goes and race Charlotte. What happens if he does win? I have no idea. You tell me.
Well, it all comes down to this. I remember when Kurt Busch did it. And of course, Kurt didn't win, so he didn't have to go to win. He wasn't a top 3 at podium, so he didn't have to go to that. But they basically landed a chopper just on the outside of the track. Yeah. Jumped him into the chopper, flew him over to the airport in the chopper, put him on a plane, put an IV into him, got him hydrated up, then landed in Charlotte, put him in another chopper, landed him right there in the middle of the Coca-Cola logo in the middle of the field. He gets out. He changed on the plane from the driving suit from Indy to the driving suit for NASCAR. And then, jumped in the car. Of course, he had to start tail end of the field because he missed the driver's meeting. So, I mean, I guess if Larson wins it and they go to the victory, he's got to he's got to take a big chug of milk. And then after that, I would say he's in a golf cart and he's got to, it's not that far on a corporate jet. I think Kurt Busch said, they said the travel time was about an hour and 26 minutes on a private jet from Charlotte up to Indianapolis. And I mean, I guess that's pedal wide open too.
Right.
So
But I mean, victory lane celebrations tend to last a while. Not that they're going to, he said he's just going to leave the Indy 500.
That's what he'd have to do. He's on a time schedule. Yeah.
Well,
He's on a time schedule. He knows he knows. I mean, I would almost, if we watch this, I almost bet you they'll do it the same way they did Kurt Busch. He's going to land right there on pit road, either right there in the middle of the grass in the infield or somewhere right in that area.
Yeah.
He's going to get out. Somebody's going to hand him a helmet. His car is going to be in the very back because unless something stupid happens, maybe a rain out or something like that to where he could get there to make the driver's meeting. But I don't see that happening. So, I mean, he's going to chug the milk and it's going to be, everybody's going to get one shot with a photo camera and you got to face it.
Isn't that crazy though? So hypothetically, he wins Indy and then gets to Charlotte and has to start last. I mean,
and he has to start last because if he doesn't hit
yeah,
the driver's
I know, but you get what I'm saying? Like your reward for winning the Indy 500 is going to Charlotte and be like, all right, well, you won a race today, so you're going to start last.
You're starting last, yeah.
Yeah, you're starting last. But people should take that into consideration as well when judging these doubles sometimes. You know what I mean? On these best, who finished the best in this and that or whatever, because, man, these guys got to start in the back. So keep in mind, if they finish in the top, 15 or something like that after racing Indy all day, that ain't terrible, but I mean, because you got to start last.
Well, you got to start last. I mean, even Busch, when Busch did it, he started last, and within about 50 or 60 laps of the first segment, Busch was up in the top 10. If he wouldn't have blown a motor, hell, he had a shot.
Yeah.
I mean, he had a shot at it. So anyhow, that's what's going on. You got a little information about the running of the Indy 500.
Yeah, the 108th running of the Indy 500 will be May 26th at 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. It'll be on NBC, streaming on Peacock. It'll be on Sirius XM, and Indy Live IndyCar is back in action this weekend in Long Beach, the LBC, baby.
That's it. The greatest day in motorsports. You start breakfast in Monaco with F1 on ESPN, then we'll flip it over to NBC for the Indy 500, then back to Fox for the Coca-Cola 600. Heading into Long Beach for you this weekend, top 5 in the NTT IndyCar circuit. It's Joseph Newgarden up on top. Patty O'Ward sits back in second spot. Scott McLaughlin, Will Power, and my buddy, I like him, man, Colton Herta right there. He's got your top 5 as they head into Long Beach for the Acura Grand Prix this weekend, Scratch.
Yeah, we as race fans don't get a lot done Memorial Day weekend. This IndyCar update brought to you by our friends at Atlanta Motorsports Park. For more information at AtlantaMotorsportsPark.com. That's where you go get that at right there. AtlantaMotorsportsPark.com.
That's it. Hey, we'll take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get you updated what's going on with NASCAR. We've got some information about what's happening down in Talladega this weekend because everybody knows the big one could come, and we'll talk all about it. You're watching On Pit Road Racing.
It will come.
Las Vegas. We'll be back. We can take a quick break on a Wednesday edition of On Pit Road Racing right here at the WCOBM, everybody.
Welcome to my world. handicapped man down at a charity feed. Great spread this morning. God, it was horrible. But it made what I needed to happen. Then I had these people that stopped and said, "Hey, you want some shoes?" I said, "Yeah, I was going to need to get some anyway. So might as well." And if it really comes to fruition, help them buy more shoes so that we can help more people. Well, I'm not but you know what I mean. Hell, might as well. There's nothing wrong with helping someone.
Are you ready for the wildest ride on Fremont Street? The Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171 on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. Open 7 days a week, noon until midnight. Strap yourself in, pull your safety belts tight, and feel the power and the speed at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience. Downtown Las Vegas, Fremont Street, 450 Fremont Street, suite number 171, right on the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Fremont Street. What are you waiting for? Log on, get your tickets now. It's time to go racing at the Gene Woods Racing Indoor Go-Kart Track Experience, 450 Fremont Street, downtown Las Vegas.
Downtown, that's where we're at. Come on down and test your skills and have a good time with us. We're here 7 days a week from noon to midnight, man. Get yourself checked in by then. You're going to be racing it. So you got it, Mike. I like it. Got a couple of big corporate parties coming in, too, so I want to make that out there. If you got a group or a function, man, like come on down, rent the track for an hour or two and have some fun, man. We can get catering together, drinks, and all kinds of great stuff, man. So come on down and check us out. Hey, let's talk a little NASCAR news. Alan here in Las Vegas, Scratches in Daytona segment brought to you by our good friends at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. LVMS.com, the South Point 400 coming back to action Friday, October 18th through Sunday, October 20th. ARCA Series West will be at the Bull Ring on Friday night and the Cup and the Xfinity Series Saturday and Sunday. And it's playoff time when they get back here to Las Vegas. And Scratch, the latest on the top 10 and driver standings coming out of Texas, heading to Talladega, or actually for the trucks, will be heading to Kansas. So go ahead, my friend.
Yeah, once again, we're going to miss them at Talladega. But after Texas, the NASCAR Craftsman truck points look like this. Number 1, Kristen Eckes. He is first. Corey Heim is second. Ty Majeski third. Nicholas Sanchez is fourth. Taylor Gray is fifth. Tyler Akram is sixth. Raja Karuth is seventh. Matt Crafton is eighth. Tanner Gray is ninth. And Grant Enfinger rounds out your top 10.
Looking good out there for the Xfinity Series. Chandler Smith up on top right now. 8 of 33 races in the books. Chandler Smith up on top. Cole Custer, you got him right there. The old Cole Custer guy. Austin Hill. Justin Allgaier, Jesse Love moving up another spot. He's up into the 5th position. Las Vegas Riley Herbst stands in 6th. The Dinger, AJ Allmendinger in 7th. Sammy Smith in 8th position. Parker Klingeman holding on to 9th. Sheldon Creed up in the top 10. And Ryan Sieg, who had that big-time battle last week, stands in 11th with Brandon Jones, wrapping up your top 12 heading into Talladega this weekend. Scratch update from the NASCAR Cup Series, my friend.
Yeah, your Cup Series driver standings after Texas. This is race 9 of 26 in the regular season. It's got Kyle Larson standing on top, the guy that's probably going to win the Indy 500. That's crazy. Anyway, he is first in the driver's points here in the Cup. Martin Truex Jr., my guy, he is in second. Denny Hamlin, everybody's favorite, is third. Chase Elliott, fourth. He just won his race this year. It's good to see him get a win this year for sure, Chase Elliott.
I like to see Chase got that win. Yeah. I mean, he needed it. He was on a streak, man. I mean, a winless streak out there. A lot of talks and a lot of rumors, possibility if something didn't happen, he could be leaving Hendrick Motorsports. Boy, I'll tell you, who could be.
Well, I would be happy with that because he is the only Hendricks driver that I root on. I'm sorry. He's the only Hendricks driver I don't root against. I wish he'd go somewhere else so I could root on him. But anyway. It was definitely good. It was good to see him get a win this week, and he is in 4th in the driver's points. William Byron is 5th. Ty Gibbs is 6th. Ryan Blaney is 7th. Tyler Reddick is 8th. Bubba Wallace, he is 9th, which is great. That's right inside the top 10. Christopher Bell is 10th. Ross Chastain, another favorite of mine, he is in 11th. Chase Briscoe, 12th. Chris Boucher is 13th. Alex Bowman, 14th. Joey Logano, 15th. And Kyle Busch hanging on to the 16th spot, man. 16th for Kyle Busch. Woo.
Good
That's
run
just
for the
part of
RCR cars, though, last week, both for Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch, man, both in the top 10 last week. So maybe a turnaround point coming around for the RCR crew there, man. Both of those guys definitely. I am so surprised.
I would imagine they'll both be competitive at Talladega, though.
Yep, I think so too.
I would imagine, because they both, that's a team synonymous with. I mean, I know that it was mostly Dale Earnhardt, but that's a team synonymous with super speedway racing, and Austin Dillon and Kyle Busch both do very well on at Daytona. When I'm watching them right in front of me, they both run very well at Daytona. So I would imagine that they'll have a shot at Talladega, both of them. The Childress cars. Woo.
There you go, man. Good to see him back. I've always been a Richard Childress fan. I grew up, man. I didn't root for Dale Earnhardt Sr. I respected him highly as a great driver. I was a Rusty fan back in those days, you know.
Me too.
But you got it. I'm glad to see Richard Childress get back and his team get back in line, because he's one of the guys. I mean, the Hendricks have been around, okay, but then you got Joe Gibbs coming into it, and blah, 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 blah. You got Legacy Motor Group. But it's good to see one of the good classic, the old school teams get back into action, and Richard Childress, a class act all the way around. Great. You ever get to North Carolina, folks? Welcome down to North Carolina. You can't beat it. He's got the facility there. Everything is really cool. It's a really neat thing.
As I've mentioned to you before, though, you were talking about with the Hendricks being around and hopefully Childress will come back and this and that and the other thing. As I had mentioned before, which goes with all sports, not just racing, but, you tend to if it isn't your team or your guy or your favorite driver out there winning, whatever team he's with is the wrong one. Like if your guy isn't driving for Hendrick, then you ain't rooting for Hendrick. You know what I'm saying? If your guy isn't driving for Gibbs, you're not rooting for Gibbs. I mean, like I don't. I like Truex, but I don't usually like to root for Joe Gibbs Racing too much. But that all started with the Kyle Busch thing. But what am I gonna dump my favorite driver all the way back from back in the Busch Series days? No, I'm not gonna do that. You know what I mean? Just because he went to drive for Gibbs. Now, if he went to Hendricks, I might have said bye.
Bye. Well, news is out April 17th. That's right. It came across the line about 4:27. NASCAR says charter deal is closed, but doubts remain. Well, Steve O'Donnell was part of a panel Wednesday at the CAA World Congress of Sports in LA on how to stay competitive in the changing industry. Unfortunately, when our owners look at where the sports potential in the terms of the new media partners, the balance that we have to do is looming. Okay. With Amazon, TNT Sports, and all opportunities that we have content, O'Donnell says everything is just sort of up in the air. I don't know, man. This thing I don't even really care to even get much more into it, because I think it's just totally ridiculous. They said that they were putting this charter thing together because it would save teams money. It would cut costs across the racing. They took out all the testing. They took out everything that they've done. And from what I've seen, all it has done is taken 4 teams and make it a 4-team sport. Hendrick, Gibbs, Childress has got 2 cars in there. Then you got Stuart Haas,
who might go down to 2.
Okay, that could be going down to 2. You got Legacy Motor Group. Okay,
Trackhouse has 2.
Trackhouse is in.
Sometimes 3.
Sometimes. But I mean, you know what? So what, you're going to make the sport for 4 or 5 teams and that's it? Because if you got $35-40 million, you're not making the damn thing any cheaper. What if they limited it to 3-car teams or 2-car teams? I mean, 2-car teams. I was going to say that first, but I'm like, okay, that's a little, maybe a little ridiculous. But 3-car teams. Well, yeah, I guess you could back it to that, but then they took all. See, I think that the reason why they stretched the 4-car team out is because now they took all the testing away. So now they said, well, we're going to take testing away because it's too expensive to go test. So we're going to put a charter in, and you got to buy a charter so you get a guaranteed slot. Well, I mean, you're not only out of all the races, 5 or 6 races of the year, you're filling a 40-car field. Tony Stewart could sell 2 of his charters right now, get rid of them, and with the way the speed, even if you take his 4 cars, even Josh Berry, Noah Gragson, the 2 new guys in there, will still make the race on time every week. I don't get this.
Yeah. It's obvious that, I mean, Hendricks has 4, so.
Right. There you go. There's 4.
And they're winning a lot.
Right.
It's what I'm saying, though.
Gibbs has got 4.
Okay.
So there's 8 cars between those 2.
There's 8, right. And then Stuart Haas has 4.
So that's
There's
12.
Right.
So you take 2 from Hendrick, or you take 2 from RCR. Now we're at 14. So Legacy Motor Group, how many? 2 from them. So now we're at 16. If you add 7 time in there, 17 cars. So now we've got what? We've got Spire,
And then
2 cars
Trackhouse,
in.
yeah,
2 cars in
Trackhouse has
Trackhouse.
2.
Yeah.
2311 has 2, sometimes 3.
Sometimes.
3, sometimes.
I don't know. Okay. I guess they say they know.
But you see, again, the dominant teams. Not that some of these 2-car teams haven't won races, right? But if you were to look at the points or something along those lines, you would see what teams are dominating. It's. I could go right back here and look right now. Kyle Larson, 4-car. He's first in the drivers, right? Kyle Larson, he's first. He's with a 4-car team. Martin Truex Jr., he's second. He's with a 4-car team. Denny Hamlin, he's third. He's with a 4-car team, right? Chase Elliott, 4th.
4-car team.
5th, William Byron.
4-car team.
Ty Gibbs is 6th.
Ty Gibbs is 6. Okay.
Yep, that's a 4-car team.
4-car team.
And Ryan Blaney is with Penske, which is a 3-car team.
3-car team. You know what? I left Penske out. There's 3 more added into it.
Yeah, but there's a 3-car team right there. That's the top 7. Then you get to Tyler Reddick and Bubba Wallace, teammates, 9th and 10th. Then you get to Ross Chastain, Chase Briscoe, Chris Buescher, Alex Bowman, Joey Logano, and Kyle Busch. So once you get the top 7, then you squeeze in 2311 and 8 and 9, and then you go back to Kristen Bell. So there's another 4-car team in the top 10. So the top 10, you have 8 4-car team members and then teammates of the 2311.
Right.
Which is what, you don't think Denny Hamlin runs for Gibbs and don't get a lot of help over there from Gibbs?
No,
okay, so there you go.
Actually, no. They did not take any. They did not take any help from Gibbs. Is that they wanted to do? No, I take that wrong. I take that back. You're wrong. I was wrong on that. Take that back. It was Legacy. It was Legacy that would not have anything to do with Gibbs. That they wanted to do it on their own. But you can bet.
Denny Hamlin's running for Gibbs. They're definitely sharing stuff.
Of course, they're sharing stuff.
Denny Hamlin is learning stuff as a driver over there that he could pass right on over to his team. So them being the 2 that's in the top 10 that's not part of a 4-car team is, it makes sense, right? It makes sense. But still, regardless, forget that part of it even. Forget that part of it if you want. You've got 8 cars in the top 10 that are with teams that have 3 to 4 cars. Right. So that should pretty much answer the question right there. I mean,
I'd like to see. You know what? I'd like to see Justin Marks come out. I'd like to see Joey's got Daniel Suarez and who else is in there?
Ross Chastain.
Yeah, I'd like to see. I'd like to see Justin Marks' team come back and just start smoking about 5 or 6 races. Let Chastain and let Daniel Suarez just kick everybody's butt on the track, and the 4-car teams go what the hell just happened? We
Yeah,
just
that
got
would
our
be that would be
butts
great.
stroked.
That would be great to have some 2-car team come in there. I mean, right now the best 2-car team is obviously 2311, but again, we're now you're talking about a six at least in the sharing part of it,
Yeah.
6 cars. You got 6 cars sharing that information between Gibbs and 2311.
Right.
So they're the ones that should be winning all the damn races.
Really, if you look at it, if you want to look at it that way.
Yeah. They're not though, because Hendricks is, just the guy, man. It's just no two ways about it.
It is. I mean, the money that he has put in for Larson on this IndyCar ride it's astronomical. I mean, he has bought into Arrow McLaren. I mean, millions and millions of dollars that Hendrick has put up for this thing. Unbelievable.
Well, if he wins, it'll be all worth it. If he wins Indy. And you know what? I don't think Hendricks would dump that much money in Kyle Larson if he didn't think that that he could win Indy, for one. And two, after he came back from his suspension and everything like that, Hendricks was licking his chops to get a hold of him.
Well, of course he was. They suspended him, and then he goes and runs what? He runs dirt modifieds and sprint cars. What, 104 races and wins 85 or 89 of 104 races? It's like, they were like, boy, did we screw up there.
Hey, I'll tell you. Hey, I keep talking about I've said that I love anybody that runs the double, and of course he drives for Hendricks or whatever. So I just want to let you know I'll be rooting on him in the Indy 500.
Oh yeah,
I will not be rooting on him in the Coca-Cola 600.
You know what would be great? I'd like to see this come out of turn number 4 down the front stretch to see Kyle Larson and Colton Herta battle it out, man. I mean, neck to neck, side by side, wide open, 235, 232, 235 mile an hour coming out of turn number 4 down the front stretch. Larson, Cole Herta for the 108th run into the Indy 500 right there, presented by Cambridge. That'd be great.
Man, just hearing you say
young
it,
guys like that would be great.
Just hearing you say it makes me all excited about it.
I tell you.
Man.
You know what?
You can tell me any story. If you did it with that type of energy right there, I'd be like, yeah, I don't know what you said, but yeah, let's do it.
If this happens, I'll be buzzing you on the phone. I'm going to tell you get down to 20 laps to go on Memorial Day. You're going to call you up and say, put the spatula and the burgers off to the side. Get your TV on because look at this. Look at this coming. 20 to go, and it's Larson and Colton Herta, maybe Newgarden in there. Patio Ward, somebody got to mix it. It's going to be, just but down the stretch, out of turn number 4 at the Brickyard, Colton Herta and Kyle Larson neck side by side for the win. That would be a race right there.
Do you think the IndyCar drivers will feel? Do you think the IndyCar drivers will feel if Kyle Larson wins the way the NASCAR Cup drivers felt when SVG won Chicago? like this guy just came in here and made us look stupid. Do you think that? I mean, do you think the IndyCar drivers would be like, "Oh my gosh, this dude just came over from NASCAR and beat us in the Indy 500"?
Do you see that SVG is getting a start this weekend at Talladega? He's going to be in 16 car.
I did.
So now he's going to get SVG's going to get a taste of it this weekend. He's really going to that Chicago street race and a couple of these Xfinities that he's done is one thing. Now you're going to get out there with 36, 37 cars entered, so not a quite full field this week. But he's going to get out there, man, and he's going to feel exactly what the draft is all about. He's going to feel exactly what NASCAR is all about this weekend.
Isn't that a 3-car team? Isn't it the 16, the 15, and the 51?
Yeah, that's that's another. But you're looking at Matt Kellogg. You're looking at Kellogg Racing right there. Matt Kellogg Racing has the 31, the 16, and I think he's in partnership with the 51 on helping out. But yeah, SVG's
what
got
about the 15. The 15 is not part of that.
15. Yeah, he's in there too. That's another one. In fact, hold on just a second. In fact, I just had this up. You know what?
But yeah, SVG, he's going to be in the 16, man. I saw that right before we actually went on air, and I'm excited, man. I believe this is a guy I believe can compete. I think once he gets a little more experience in these stock cars, which I think is why he got a full-time Xfinity ride, and gets to play around in the Cup a little bit. I mean, he's already got a NASCAR Cup victory, and of course, like you said, that was Chicago, and now he's going to get a real taste. But man, hey, history, these Talladegas and Daytonas, you know, they give a race car driver opportunity. It doesn't matter if you're AJ Foyt coming in from somewhere else, or you know, or
Andretti's, any of them. Yeah,
any
of those.
SVG or whatever. They give you a shot, man, because they if you're a race car driver, all you got to do is want to go fast.
Well, look at Mario.
Like Ricky Bobby did.
Well, look at Mario Andretti, the only guy that's ever done it. I mean, Formula One, IndyCar, NASCAR.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, to do it. You know what? I'm going to pass. I'm tired of hearing Denny Hamlin whine. We all know the short track and they need to work on the tires and the short track thing, but Denny's still whining, so I'm skipping past it. If you'll move on down, you got the ladies. How about Dale Earnhart Jr.? He's looking for more short track racing. Talk to us about it, Scratch.
He is. He'd like to run more short tracks and the Xfinity series. All right, so he hadn't said anything really about Cup, but not Xfinity. But in the Xfinity series, he'd like to run more short tracks. And if he had a choice, the co-owner of Junior Motorsports would regularly provide a ride in the Xfinity series for short track stars. The past 2 weeks saw Junior Motorsports field a car for Bubba Pollard at Richmond and Carson Guapo at Martinsville. But this weekend there won't be a ride for Pollard or Guapo or anyone else in the number 88 car for Junior Motorsports at Texas Motor Speedway. This isn't the funding to do so. In a perfect world, Earnhardt told NBC Sports after last weekend's Xfinity race at Martinsville, so this was like 2 weeks ago, I would love to run this car with all kinds of Bubbas and Carsons. That's Junior's got a way about him, doesn't he? I would love to give Carson a full season. I think he's ready to go. I'd love to run Bubba Pollard full time, but Earnhardt needs financial support to do so.
That's it.
So,
It's all
sounds like he'd like to run both of those guys, but you know, I don't know, man. He might be itching to run some Cup cars, not race them, own them.
Well, it all comes down to that. I've heard him state. I've heard him say publicly state there is no way he will spend $40 million on a chart.
Well,
absolutely.
You know what?
You know what?
He may change his mind. You never know.
Anybody can,
especially with his buddy Stewart having a couple for sale.
Yeah, there you go. There could be. You know, there was talk. Say the rumor was flying this week that Legacy Motor Group might be interested in buying Tony's half out of Stewart Haas. So if you did that, then what would you do then? Well, the limit is 4 cars. So if you did that, if they went that way, then that'd be 7 cars in a stable if they did that. So you're gonna have to knock somebody out.
Yeah, well, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Because then Legacy would become a 4-car team, more or less would be how that would work.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it? Technically.
The biggest stupid mistake of all, as far as Earnhardt goes, is that NBC should have written the check on whatever he wanted. This is that's just like we were talking about we were talking about Sacramento losing racing. Biggest, stupidest mistake that NBC did.
Yeah.
They lost I mean, Rick Allen and those guys are good. You got to give them to them. But Junior brought that show in. Junior told it the way it was. He talked North Carolina. He's not some big New York or LA guy. He's a guy from North Carolina. He's a racing guy. He talked racing. He talked it the way the general race fan could understand it. Did he say every word perfect? No. Do you and I say every word perfect? No. But they're going to find out. And you wait to see when he flips. If Junior only does 6 races for Disney, you watch Disney's numbers go through the roof.
Yeah.
It's going to happen.
Yeah.
Real quickly here, I don't know if you've heard of this little lady. We've interviewed her a couple of times, man. Natalie Decker, man. She's was running for a DGM race car. She's not going to make it. She had a great run. 26-year-old was down to Daytona this year, finished 18th in that field in the Xfinity Series. And normally they thought the 26-year-old would be ready to return back to Talladega Super Speedway for this weekend, but somehow, some way, no one really knows why yet, but Decker's been pulled out of the race this weekend. And we just really don't know what's going on. But I hate that. We've interviewed her, and that little lady's got a lot of potential. I think one of the things that she needs to quit worrying about is all the social media stuff and concentrating on getting some seat time, man. I mean, that's really it, seriously. She's a great girl. She can drive. But I
Yeah,
think she's
see, I see she finished 18th in Daytona.
yeah. We don't know why
So
they pulled her out of it, but she's out of the ride this weekend. But you know, she's one of those girls. She's one of those girls that she came falling in the same line as Haley Deegan did. A lot of these girls that have come up, Tony Brenninger's come up through the line. She's making her way through.
I
But
thought Haley Deegan would be doing better in the Xfinity Series this year. I was off on that. I was off on Kyle Busch being, pretty dominant in the Cup this year. I kind of just thought those two things might happen.
I can't believe no practice at Talladega. No practice, man. Qualifying, that's it. No practice.
Well, that's going to make the first few laps at Dega pretty fun.
It's going to be pretty wild. Just to let them know, Scratch. Yeah, that's going to be real interesting. No test, no tire, no breaking nothing in. We'll see what happens down there. Geico 500 Talladega Super Speedway, Sunday, April 21st, 3 p.m. $8 million in the purse. Fox has got it for you starting at 2 p.m. MRN Sirius XM NASCAR Radio. 500.08 miles, 188 laps. Stage 1 ends at 60, stage 2 at 120, and the final stage at 188. Xfinity racing for you, Scratch, ARCA Pro 300, Talladega, Saturday, the 20th, 4 p.m. About $1.5 million up on the line. Fox will have the TV, MRN Sirius, 300.58 miles, 113 laps around Talladega. Stage 1 ends at 25, 2 at 50, and the last stage ends at 113. Trucks are off this week. Couple of quick teasers here for you, man. Who do you think's got the most active polls at Talladega right now? Active drivers polls.
Who's got the most active polls at Talladega? Is it like all time or that's in the field right now?
Active guys who are still active.
That's what active means. My fault. Let's see. Who's got the most polls, active drivers? This is going to be a weird answer, but I'm going to say Austin Dillon.
Christopher Bell's got 2. He swept them both in 22, 23. Then follows Chase Elliott, Denny Hamlin, and then Austin Dillon. Then your buddy Martin Truex Jr. out there, buddy. Man, he's got it there.
Austin Dillon got it. I think he's got a couple here at Daytona. I think maybe that's what I was thinking.
Active race winners. Who do you think has an active? Who's driving today? Who is the most active race winner at Talladega Super Speedway? Who do you think, Scratch?
The most active race winner
guys
at Talladega Motor Speedway. Oh, let's see. I'm going to go with gosh, man, that's tough. I'm going to go with man, it's tough. I'm just looking through drivers trying to see who might it be. I'm going to go with Austin Cindric.
Brad Keselowski has 6 wins there back in 2021, 2017, 16, 14, 12, and back in 2009. Coming up next would be Ryan Blaney. He's his 3rd active driver right there with 3 wins, 2023, 20, and 219. Joey Logano's got 3 at 2018, 16, and 15. Kyle Busch at 2. Chase Elliott 2. Wine and Denny Hamlin at 2. Chastain's got 1. Bubba and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. all with a big-time win there. Okay, tell me
Austin
this.
Austin Cindric got 0.
Okay, tell me this here. Who do you think? Who do you think here got the? Give me a couple of guys who you think got their first wins at Talladega. Wins at Talladega.
Bubba Wallace is one.
He is Monday, October 4th of 2021. Give me another. Give me a hint. At the time he won it, he was dating Danica Patrick.
Oh yeah. That knucklehead. I don't know why everybody's screaming right now that's watching this that knows Ricky Stenhouse Jr.
Ricky Stenhouse Jr. You got him, man. May 7th of 2017. First time winner for Brad Kay. He won it back April 26th of 2029. Brian Vickers got his first victory Sunday, October 8, 2006. Kenny Schrader won there back on July 31st in 1988. Kenny Schrader won it. Phil Parsons had one back in Sunday, May 1st. Davey Allison won there Sunday, May 3rd, 1987. Bobby Hillin Jr. got his first victory there. Lonnie Pond, Sunday, August 6th, back in 1973. And Richard Brickhouse, Sunday, September 14th, 1969, picked up his first win.
That's
there.
cool. So a brick house and a stint house. Oh,
There you go.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. So that's it. So you got some really cool stuff going on. It's going to be I think you're going to have a good race. And of course, we always got to watch out for the big one, man. You know, you can avoid the big one, you're in good shape.
That's why anybody could win this race.
Well, you know what, Dale Jarrett,
even SVG, even SVG,
even SGV, even SVG can win. But you know what, Jarrett was always good at this. He was good. You know what he said back when the day, and I wish they'd come back to this: 175 points to win. Then it's a point down for every position. If you got the pole, you got 5 points, and if you let a lap, you got 5 points. Jarrett's gig was if he could get the pole, he'd get the pole, lead a lap, and then sink to the back and let the knuckleheads battle it out. And what did Dale Jr. or what did Jarrett do? He just weaseled his way right on in through there, and he'd win.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Anything else going on? You got any news or notes you want to talk about before we get out of here today?
Not really. I was just gonna say that it seems like nowadays, though, that big one can creep up on you even in the back when you're riding around sometimes, you know. So you just never know at these tracks where the big one's gonna happen. So if you're gonna ride in the back, man, you better get you 3 or 4 guys to draft with and ride in the back. You know,
it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. You know, being you know here in Daytona and a big fan of Daytona. Obviously, I love that super speedway stuff. So it's going to be nice to sit here in the luxury of my own house and watch Talladega on the big screen.
I think that you're going to see some crazy stuff down there this weekend, and no practice. Here's going to be the big question: how many of these guys are going to be upset because there wasn't no practice this weekend?
I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll find out after the first crash, won't we?
That's it. Hey, you know, right before we get out of here, Scratch, let me do this. We got yours on the way, but here are the Hard Shoes for you, man.
Yeah, man.
The Hot Shoe Hall of Fame is a 501c3 nonprofit, man. We've got these shoes that we got, man. They're all called Hard Shoes. We give them out to needy men, women, and children, and it's necessary for good health and positive development. And right here, before we get off of the show today, let me just do this and pop this little banner right here across that you all can see it ticking. If you'd like to partake in this, it's really easy. Just log on to the World Wide Web at hotshoehof.com. Hit the donate button, whether it's $1, it's $5, $10, $100, $1,000, whatever amount that you would like to give. 100% of the money that you donated goes for these tennis shoes right here. And we just got another load in. Gene's coming back, and he was talking to me on the phone the other day. He says, Mike, we got to get a couple more joints lined up. Let's get some churches. Let's get a couple things lined up. So we're going to be out in Las Vegas area getting some shoes out to people. And if you know needy people, if you're a church out there, a nonprofit organization, charity event that needs something and needs a little help, especially if it's with kids too. I'm always about helping the kids out. Give us a shout out over here. Just log on to the hotshoehof.com and we can get some information out to you. Okay. Anything else, buddy, before we roll out of here today?
Hey, man, I got my Mulligan's Money Mike tomorrow night at Mulligan's, 3830 South Nova Road in Port Orange, Florida. Best comment gets $75. Second best gets $25. And the third best gets a $15 gift certificate. We do that every Thursdays over at Mulligan's Grill. So that's where I'll be tomorrow night. And then yeah, that'll be fun. We've been having a good time over there.
I'll be down here at the Gene Woods Racing Experience. I think I'm going to try to dip out Saturday night if I can out to the Bull Ring and catch a little short track racing out there. And we'll do that. And we're going to take this Friday off. I've got some things to do. I've got an appointment with an orthopedic surgeon we've got everything else, I think, working right. We're going to try to get this hip working. So hopefully I don't have to have a replacement. And I told him I'd like to try a non-invasive if we can first, you know. But we're going to take this Friday off. We'll be back with you guys on Monday. We'll have all the latest and everything what happened down in Dega. Okay, my friend?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Monday, we'll talk Dega. I'm excited.
You got it.
I love it.
You got it. All right, I'm going to call for John. Scratch, real quickly before I let you go, man. Where can they find the Scratch with a K Entertainment? Where you're at, websites, information, and we'll get out of here.
Yeah, you can get all my information at comedyfromthescratch.com or nutshackentertainment.com. If you want to get a hold of me, it's all right there. You can get me on Facebook at Scratch Comedy or at Comedy from Scratch. You can also get my Nutshack Entertainment page right there on Facebook as well. And hey, while you guys are out there, man, look up the Turn 3 Tiki Bar. Follow that page too, man. Tell them Scratch sent you.
There you go. Gonna call for John Scratch. Thank you. We'll talk to you on Monday. Alan Michaels here in Las Vegas, Scratch in Daytona Beach on Pit Road Racing's Wednesday edition. It's Dega this weekend, buddy. We'll talk to you real soon. Scratch of the day joining us down at Daytona Beach. Thanking him. We'll be back Friday, or actually Monday for you, 4 p.m. right here at the WCOBM. Hope you guys have a great race weekend. It's mega running this weekend. IndyCar's running. F1's running. It's racing. Don, take us on.
Thanks for joining us for On Pit Road Racing. Follow us on our website, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at On Pit Road Racing. On Pit Road Racing is written and produced by WCOBN TV. I'm John the Announcer for On Pit Road Racing.